Greetings, family. This is Dr. Kia Pruitt. It is September the 17th, 2022, and the time is 4:17 p.m. Wow, we love the number 17 and we love the 17th letter. Today, I'm going to do a little rant because of what I see going on in certain communities and also on social media. So, happy was today, Saturday. I hope you're having a magnificent day. Now, I want to start off being joyous because I might come for some of you today. Listen, I don't know what's in the water. I don't know what's in the air. I'm not even sure what's going on in the food. But what I do see is uh, a misrepresentation of the divine feminine in women. What I see is a role reversal. Whereas men used to be the ones that would talk about conquering, and men used to be the ones that were assertive and aggressive and doing and going out and grinding and all these things, whether you agree with it being healthy or not. And even men talking about conquering and conquest and having many women, that used to be the norm, whether it's healthy or not. What I see going on today is women being so out of control that they don't even have control over their children. Now, I have been in the school systems and I've seen the way children have behaved. It is horrendous. I am telling you today that some of you need to be involved in your schools, your school's curriculum. You need to be involved in a PTA. You need to be involved in your children's education. And you need to make sure that your child is doing what he or she needs to do while they're away from you in the schools. Sure, we can have a conversation about whether or not schools should be restructured. We can have a conversation about whether or not we need vocational schools, whether or not we need to have a training for teachers and administrators. But what I'm telling you today is the higher the expectation, the higher the achievement, both for the children, for the husband, the mother, and the family and communities and nation. Family, I am on a rant today because I've been desiring to talk about this. However, I know I have to be mindful and careful how I talk about it. What I see going on in many communities is women keeping the children away from the fathers. Now, of course, we can talk about how some fathers are making a decision not to be in the home because maybe the father and the mother are separated, divorced, or not together. Ladies, it is imperative that your daughter has a relationship with her father, considering that he's a healthy man. I'm not talking about whether he might not like you, you might not like him. It is so important that a woman has a relationship with her father, because if she doesn't and he's a healthy man, what you will see is what I see in the school system: young ladies tooting their behinds up, twerking in the hallways, twerking and dancing and getting in front of TikTok in the classroom and in the hallways and in the cafeteria. It has gotten so out of control. They don't listen to the female teachers. They don't listen to the male teachers. They don't listen to the principals. They don't listen to administration. And I'm wondering if they even listen to you. Even the young men have a little more control than some of the girls. I've even seen the girls pop boys upside the head, smack them, punch them, and they think it's cute and they laugh and they make fun about it. And then they're talking about, how they slept with this one and that one and a high body count and this, what they're doing with all these different men. And they're young ladies. Parents, get control of your household. What are you doing? Somebody needs to hold you accountable for whatever it is you're doing, because parenting is not it. The young men are assaulting teachers, even the male teachers. They're cursing them, they're speaking out against them, they're confronting them, they're being aggressive towards them. They are just outright disrespectful, to the extent that even if you ask them to leave the room, they will curse you out. You might even have to call security, and security will come in. They will curse out security. I'm telling you, this is a problem with the home. Some of you really need to get control of your children. Now, let's have a conversation about what's going on in the home. I do know that a lot of parents are at work. My mother was at work. Okay. My some of my aunts and uncles were at work, but you didn't see me in school cutting up, acting a fool, cussing out teachers, and just being outlandish. Thank God we didn't have a cell phone. Stop letting your children bring cell phones to school. Or schools and school administrators have a high expectation for your child, the children. The higher the expectation, the higher the achievement. It is not rocket science. When the children come in, they should have to leave the cell phones in a place, a sacred place, where if they can put it away in the beginning of class and then maybe at the end of class or the end of the week. I don't care. They can take the cell phone with them. What they're doing is they're busy on a cell phone, talking to each other, making videos, twerking, dancing, and it's just out of control. So I want to take both the men and the women to task on this issue. But I have to say that I have something to say to the women. Some of you have gotten out of control. You cuss out the teachers, you're disrespectful, you have a filthy, nasty, aggressive attitude. You want to be a boss bee and a boss chick and an independent lady. You want to be nasty, rude, disrespectful, and talk about all the men you slept with. Nobody thinks it's cute but you. It is not cute. It is not respectful and is not conducive to being a mother who is rearing children who are supposed to be productive humans in society. It is outrageous what I see, both in communities and in homes when you make home visits and online. I see the grown women twerking, tooting up their behinds, twerking, and even doing it with their children. What is wrong with you ladies? I see women talking about how they don't need a man. I don't need a man. Men are narcissists. Men are no good. F men. Men are this, men are that. Baby, you need a man in your life. That's why you're out of control because men bring control and discipline. Men bring leadership. Now, a lot of you do not want to admit to this because you don't like structure and you don't like rules. You don't like organization. You're out of control yourself. So what I see is a bunch of women online doing pranks. Oh, I'm going to do a prank. It's so cute. Ha ha ha. I'm dating this guy today. I'm going to do a slam the door prank. So you're doing pranks where you're talking to him and then you got the camera rolling, you're slamming the door, basically disrespecting his property and him, slamming doors in his face, cracking the windshield, and you think it's cute. This stuff is going viral. Oh, I want to do this prank where I'm going to send him a text and I'm going to say in the text, you can go ahead and come over. He's gone now. And so the man drives off and he comes back angry because he think you accidentally sent him a text telling the boyfriend to come because or a lover to come because the boyfriend or husband has gone away. And you think this is fun, you think it's cute. Then what I see online is D writing workshops. You know, D as in penis or phallus, but it starts with a D, or the other name for Richard, the little member that men have, or the magic wand. Oh, yes, these women have D writing workshops all over the internet going viral about, oh, it's coming to your city today. Like this stuff is cute. And you wonder why your children are out of control because you're out of control. Women, you've got to do better. You are so out of control. I can't even explain how this irritates me. You think it's cute. You think it's funny. You do it in front of your children. You're all online, riding and gyrating and talking about, oh, yeah, we're doing this D writing workshop coming to a neighborhood near you. What is wrong with you? And some of you keep your children away from the fathers. This has become a problem because the man doesn't want to be with you, or your marriage broke up, or you don't want to be with him. So now you keep the child away from the father and you can't control the child. But it's funny and it's cute now. But when that child hits 13, 14, 15, 16, my words, you're going to pick up the phone and you're going to say, talk to your child. I need you to do something with little Ray Ray. He won't listen. He cursed at me. He disrespect me. Come get your child. Shalari is pregnant. Yes, of course she is, because you kept her away from your father, because you said you don't need a man, because your life is so great and so fun, and you just D-riding all over the place and partying and tripping and get kicking it. And it was cute. Now you want daddy to talk to them. Well, that's about all he can do is talk, because when he tried to talk and bring discipline and spend time when they were younger, you didn't want that to happen. So, yes, I'm a little disturbed. I'm a little disturbed. I'm a lot of disturbed by the behavior that I see going on with women. And if that's not you, God bless you. I am not talking to you. I am talking to the women who think this stuff is cute. The pranks, the disrespect, the disregard, the high body counts, the D writing contests and workshops, the clapping it, making it clap and making it happy. I know this young lady. We from the same city. I just know her from social media, but we are from the same city. She thought it was so cute to talk about how she's D-riding and twerking and doing all this sensual dancing. You know, it's one thing to do sensual dance and you do it because you enjoy it, and that's just something that you do for yourself or to work out or exercise or even for your partner. But to do it just for attention, and you're all on the computer and men are liking it and giving you all these accolades and talking about how you're making it clap and how they're all happy. Men, stop it. Please just stop, because you're giving all these women attention. And so you're making this a big deal. And so they think it's cute because they're doing it for you. They're going to continue it. And then you're going to talk about how they're not wife material. Stop giving them attention. So then this lady keeps doing it, and she's just sensual and making it clap and, grinding and stuff. And she ends up getting all this attention, ends up pregnant, not sure who the daddy is, because she gets so much attention that she decides to lay with these guys. And now she's a single parent, and she's not that happy. Well, there's a such thing as called cause and effect. You do things or cause and effect. You do certain things, you're twerking, making it clap all on social media, doing the things to get male attention, then you end up letting them in between your legs and get pregnant. It's called cause and effect. So, yes, you're a single mother. Now that you've been clapping and making it all happy and shaking and gyrating from the time you were in your teenage years to the time you 35, once you get over 35, it's no longer cute. And you want to know, where are all the good men? Good men don't exist. Men are bad. They're narcissists. Men are cheaters. Men are this. Men are that. No, young lady, you were thoughting about in your younger years when you should have been focusing on getting yourself healthy, being self actualized, and if you wanted or desired to be married, practicing to be married. Imagine that. Imagine being groomed for marriage. Imagine being trained to be a wife. Oh, that's such a bad word. That's such a bad thing to say, but you'll be trained to be a nurse. You'll be trained to be a teacher. You'll be trained to be a doctor. You'll be trained to be anything you desire to be, an artist. You'll be trained to work on cars. You'll be trained to work for the government, but you won't be trained to be a parent or a wife. We've gotten out of control. We blame everybody around us for what's going on in our homes, but ourselves. Here's a word to learn: accountability. Accountability. Take responsibility, give an account for the decisions that you have made in your life. No, it's not white supremacy's fault. No, it's not the man's fault or the government's fault. Perhaps they have done some things, yes, we know, to make certain people's lives miserable or unhappy. But you have power within yourself to say, I do not consent. And as sovereign beings, you can have control and reign over your own life. Imagine that. Imagine, since you've decided to lay on your back or to hover over a woman and have her lay on her back and procreate and bringing forth children. Imagine being responsible for the children that you brought into society. It is something we really need to sit back and take accountability for. Parents are really, some of you all are doing a magnificent job, and I pat you on the back, and that's great. It's because you begin with the end in mind, and you said, this is what I see for myself and for my children, so I'm going to work backwards. I'm going to plan. I'm going to work backwards, but I'm going to plan ahead, and then I'm going to take steps to do things to have productive children, to have a safe, comfortable, loving home. and nurturing home for my children. But what I see happening is a lot of us have not done that. And somebody has to tell you that you need to do better, because I'm telling you right now that nobody outside your house is responsible for your child respecting you, himself or herself, and authority. Some people get knocked upside the head with a baton or get chastised by the criminal justice system because you are out of control and because you have not taught your child to be a child or a human being with control. So, yes, I'm on a rant. We need to do better as parents, as human beings, and set high expectations for ourselves and for our children. Now, just because a man isn't in the home doesn't mean he can't have a responsibility for his child. So, men, take responsibility for your child. Do it all you can to be in your child's life. Women, do all you can to be in your child's life. Be an active parent, not just being there, because a child doesn't learn by just what you say, by listening to your words. A child learns by the example that you set, by the things that you do in front of the child. That is how children learn. Okay, so all this nasty disrespect, cursing out authority, and uh, families bickering, but parents bickering between each other in front of the children, it needs to cease and desist. Woosah. We have got to do better. We have got to do better. I just I don't know what's happening with families. And I keep hearing people say, men don't want to be involved. Stop it. Because when you look at the statistics, please look up what the CDC said about black fathers or fathers classified as black. When they did statistics, and I know CDC talks about diseases, yes, but there's an article by the CDC that says that the most active fathers, when it comes to when they look at different groups, the most active fathers in children's lives happen to be Aboriginal men or men classified as black. So overall, this whole thing that men aren't involved in their children's lives or desire not to be involved, it the statistics do not bear that out. So we've got to do better by allowing them to be involved in their lives and sitting back and and not fighting them, or at least, I'm not saying give up all your responsibility. When I say sit back, I mean, be okay with a man stepping up and being in a child's life. Just because he doesn't want to be with you, just because the marriage ended, a relationship ended, does not mean the child does not need or desire or deserve to have the parent in his or her life. We have to do better. We do, because I see a lot of young people having babies before they're ready, and this should not happen. The onus is on the parent, not the school, not the police, and not the government. Parents do better. This is why I don't like, another reason though, if you want to talk about what happens outside of the home, I do not support critical race theory, because what it tells the child, for children who are Aboriginal or Indigenous classified as black, what it tells you is, it reminds you, oh, you were a slave, slavery this, slavery that, oh, black people or people classified as black are discriminated against, and you're going to have hardships. So it puts in the minds of the child that it's going to be hard for you to achieve, and that is not the case. Again, the higher the expectation, the higher the achievement. Right after slavery, you still had thriving communities. As a matter of fact, communities right now, many years, decades after slavery, still are in poverty, still only have less than 1% of the wealth. We did better right after slavery. So stop it already. Stop it. Stop blaming. Okay, maybe certain things happen. What some of you will find out if you actually stop believing Alex Haley, who was actually sued by Harold Corlander. Harold Corlander was a Caucasian man who wrote a book called The African. This is the book and the characters that Alex Haley used in his book called Roots. Roots was one of the main movies and books that Hollywood used to put and plant into your mind that you are a slave, will always be a slave. You'll be 1,000 years slave, slavery, 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 and that's all they desire to focus on. Alex Haley was sued and Harold Corlander won his case, okay, because he committed plagiarism. Plagiarism means you lied and said that your family was from Africa and y'all were slaves because you thought it was a good story. And you know, it pulls on the heartstrings of some people, make them feel so bad about life, like they can't get nothing, can't achieve nothing because old massa used to beat great, great, great granny, even though great, great, great granny and great, great granny and granny had a better life than you. Stop it already. On the other hand, critical race theory tells our the Caucasian children you should feel guilty for what your great great grandparents allegedly did to these people, to these enslaved people. Okay, slavery was horrible, but we've all been enslaved all across the planet. Nobody talks about the Caucasians who were the first slaves over here. Slavic, hello, the Italians, the Irish. Remember, and the Irish were given control of the police department, huh? You remember? And then the Italians. Remember that they were enslaved and they were mistreated, so they had to create the mafia because they had olive complexion because they were really mixed, especially the ones that come from Sicily. They know their Aboriginal background, the background with the Moors. They know they are so-called mixed with what y'all call black. Stop it. We've all been enslaved all across the planet. But what some of you will find out is some of your parents actually, or great great grandparents, actually were not chattel slaves. Do the work, do the history, do some research, okay? Because we need to stop perpetuating this story. If you want to talk about it, but then talk about how great you are, how magnificent you are. Talk about the wonderful things that your family has done. And if they haven't done anything wonderful, then start it today. The higher the expectation, the higher the achievement. It is not rocket science. Parents, do a better job because you are failing, many of you. Some of you are doing a wonderful job, and I think it's great. I mean, hallelujah. I give you a pat on the back. Great job. But I can tell that a lot of you are not doing a great job by the way your child behaves. You can tell a tree by the fruit that it bears. You can tell what type of parent, what type of tree from which the fruit came by looking at the fruit. Okay, so the fruit in a lot of cases has been battered, bruised, and in some cases rotten to the core because some of you parents have not done your job. We've got to do better. Men do better. Okay, you're leaders. You have authority. You have discipline. You provide structure. Please do that. I know some of you get backlash from people outside from society that try to feminize you. I know the woman doesn't want it. She doesn't want any control or discipline. She want to do what she want to do. It's your thing. Do what you want to do. I can't tell you who to sock it to. Oh, we've come a long way, baby. I can smoke cigarettes and give myself cancer now. Oh, yes. I can bring home the bacon, fry it up in the pan, and never, ever, ever let you forget you're a man. Oh, I can go to work. I can do it all. Then I can come home after working all, slaving for massa or slaving for the man down here and working and building somebody else's empire all day. Then I can go grocery shopping after that and do all the community work and come home and take care of the children and cook and do all this and sexually satisfy you. That is not the truth. They forgot to tell you that that's overworking yourself and is not a part of your femininity. If you have to work, that's one thing, but trying to do it all and be a man and do everything like a man and compete with the man, it's nonsense. It does not work. That's why many of us are obese in our community. That's why many of us are single because we've driven men away. That's why many of us are exhausted and have diseases like diabetes, high blood pressure. That's why our children are out of control, killing each other in the streets. That's why many of them are in detention centers and many of them are in prisons and jail cells and many of them keep getting expelled and suspended from home. It's not just because of society and what's on the television and what's going on with the cops and everybody else in the school system. A lot of it has to do with you and me. If you don't like the school system, create one in your own community or homeschool your child yourself. Because if you stayed home and homeschooled your child instead of building up somebody else's empire, your child will have a relationship with himself or herself and with you. We need to do better, okay? And I'm just exhausted with especially you boss bees, your boss chicks. I'm about my bag. I don't need a man. But then you get 35, 40, and then you're all online with your butt cheeks out talking about, oh, I can cook, I can clean, and mama still got it. Well, I mean, no disrespect, but you've been online talking about all the men that ran through you. Like, I mean, really, help me make it make sense. And you did it in front of your children. Oh, now you can cook. But for all these years, you've been letting everybody know you a boss bee and you a boss chick and you make all this money. Well, if you got it all going on and you got it and you can do it all by yourself, why would a man come into your life today? He's not impressed with our college, our high college degrees and all the money we make and all the property we have. What he's impressed by is whether or not you know how to work with him, cooperate with him. If you can synergize together as the divine feminine and divine masculine working together in harmony, that's impressive. Can you yield or submit? There's a word we don't like, but I'm not talking about being under a man's thumb or under his foot or being enslaved. I'm speaking of yielding and allowing him to provide structure for the home. And if the two of you agree that both of you bring structure, or maybe he says you manage the home better, I got it. Do that. But some of you don't even know how to work with a man. You're so rude, mean, disrespectful, and aggressive that a man can't even look at you. You're not even, a man likes to look at a woman that is his opposite, who is soft, who is more giving and yielding, who is sweet and feminine and nurturing. Of course, we have both the feminine and the masculine in us, but he doesn't want to look at the direct reflection of himself. But some of you ladies have gone way overboard. You're not even an image of him, you're an image of a savage beast. Somebody got to tell you. Your mama can't tell you because you don't want to listen to it. And your husband can't tell you because you're so out of control. Can't nobody tell you what to do. You can do it all by yourself. You don't need, he's trying to control you. He's being a dictator because he wants you to act like you have some sense and not slam his door and not disrespect him and not pull pranks and not yell, cuss, scream, and holler, or not talk about all the body counts you have, not be all on social media talking about clapping and you a boss chick and you don't need a man. Women, get yourselves together because you're out of control. Let's bring it back in. I don't know. I heard y'all when you said we've had to do it because the man wasn't doing his job. Some of the things you may have had to do, but you did not have to go out here and act savage and be disrespectful, rude, nasty, mean, and callous and cold and whorish. I'm talking about clapping it up. I'm talking about D riding workshops and being all on social media talking about how you gonna ride that D and right in front of your children. You wonder why they don't respect you. We've got to do better. That's my rant for today. I have done many videos on elegance. A lot of women listen to it. They appreciate it. Thank you for your support. A lot of men appreciate it. Thank you for your support. I'm just wondering when we're going to hone it in, bring ourselves in, and act like we have some sense, because our children are out of control. And if you know, I was born and raised in Cleveland, and then I raised my children in Louisville, Kentucky. And Louisville, Kentucky has some of the highest murder rates out in the whole nation. And when you see that happens and you look at the shape of the community, you know why. We have a lot of single mothers where the father is not absent. We need to come together as divine feminine and divine masculine and work together. But the way that's going to happen, men are getting it together. They're getting counseling. They're talking their things through. They're really working on a lot of things, fatherhood development, helping each other, mentoring each other. They need to do it. Keep doing it, men. Do a better job. Do it. Do some more. But ladies, some of you have gotten out of control. We need to learn how to be elegant, graceful, sweet, kind, nurturing, and cooperative. Work together with the divine masculine. My name is Dr. Kia Pruitt. I understand that I was on a rampage today and I was ranting, but still, I hope something I've said have risen your vibrations, caused you to think, and helped you to make changes for the sake of our children, our community, our society, and our nation. Let's work together, the divine masculine and the divine feminine, for the sake of our posterity. I truly love you, and I desire for us to make this nation great. Mwah. Peace, family. I will talk to you soon with another happy, sweet, kind, loving video. Peace. I'm sorry this was different. I'm out.